View from London now. Jill Rutter is Program Director at the Institute for Government. Thank you so much for speaking with us here on France 24.
Hi.
First off,
Hello.
how did the Prime Minister do in selling that agreement?
Well, the Prime Minister is clearly very happy, and he made clear that he thinks that this agreement meets all the commitments that the Leave campaign promised back in the referendum, taking control of our borders, laws, money, and our fishing waters. So he was very upbeat. That's what you expect from the Prime Minister. He's clearly very pleased he's got a deal. So so he was in very bouncy mood, which, given that he's had to do some rather grim press conferences recently about COVID, was actually, I think, probably quite a relief to him.
He talked several times about this being a giant free trade zone. He talked about stimulus for competition coming out of this. Do you see the future as being as rosy?
Well, the Prime Minister couldn't go and sell, actually, we've secured a sort of deal, but it's a significantly less good deal for our economy than staying in the single market and the customs union. That's never been the prospectus of the government or the Leave side. So he has to present the new opportunities from this, new opportunities in terms of trade elsewhere, having secured tariff-free access to the single market, but not single market membership. He was a bit shaky on things like non-tariff barriers when journalists at his press conference challenged him on that and some of the implications for UK services. So he
on that issue of UK services, is this the end of the City of London as we know it? Is this the death knell for it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think that's a bit bizarre. Lots of people said that when the UK didn't join the euro. They said that actually the UK City of London would shrivel because we weren't members of the euro. It potentially means that there will be a loss of some business to the EU, and clearly the EU, we're still waiting on whether the EU gives the UK an equivalence decision on financial services. That's not in the trade deal, so we're waiting for that autonomous decision. The UK has granted equivalence to the EU a few weeks ago and set out its new approach to doing that. But I think the City of London is pretty robust, pretty innovative and things like that, and it operates on quite a global scale. So the EU is an important part of the competitive advantage of the city, but I think the city will find ways of thriving in the future.
One final question for you, Jill Rutter. We heard the Prime Minister say at the end of that press conference, most people just want it settled and want us to move on, whether you were for Brexit or against it back in 2016. Will it be an easy sell before Parliament?
I think it'll be an easy sell in Parliament. One of the most notable developments today was that Nigel Farage, who led the Leave push before the Conservative Party committed to that referendum way back in David Cameron's speech in 2013 from the UK Independence Party. He declared the war is over, this is now done, we might not like some of the details, but basically, job done, this has been achieved. And actually, that I think cuts quite a lot of the ground away from the Prime Minister's potential critics in the Eurosceptic wing of his party, because if even Nigel Farage can think this is an okay deal, then it's a bit hard for them to come in and niggle away at the details. So it won't be quite where the purists want. They would have liked no guarantees for any sort of future EU access to our waters, just an annual negotiation, no commitments at all on things like level playing field. But frankly, they should be pretty happy. If you told them what would be on offer 5 years ago, before the referendum, they would have bitten not just your hand off, but your arm and possibly most of the top of your body off for this deal.
All right, Jill Rutter, many thanks for joining us from London. Jill Rutter, Program Director at the Institute for Government. And for